Evening, guys. Welcome back to another episode. Welcome back to the Talking Gas podcast. Apologies for the lateness. Not long got back from the studio. So I had to have my tea pretty quickly and then jump on. Josh was meant to join us, but unfortunately he finished work late, so isn't going to make it. So he should be back on Sunday. Don't forget, of course, a game on a Tuesday. Bolton means we'll be back on Sunday as well. So join us for then. But joined by Neil. How are you doing, mate? You good?
Yeah, all right, mate. You?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, nearly Friday, nearly the weekend, which is good. But hopefully Rovers can bring us some joy. It's been a while. Like the title says, I couldn't really think of a title, for a 0-0 like this. Yeah, frustrating. Obviously, we'll get into all that. As always, we'll get into the comments. Leave a like as always. We try and aim for 50 likes. So whether you're watching now or watching after, then please do leave a like, subscribe, follow the socials, all that stuff. Use the Fan Hub code, which is going across the screen. And feel free to follow the Talking Gas socials as well on Insta or X or Twitter, if you will. Thanks to those that are tuning in right now. Rob Stavek, Chris Collier, Kieran West as well. Keep getting your comments. Plenty to talk about. But like I said, the title, 4 games without a win. Obviously, no match reaction because I can't stand when it's a 0-0 because for a match reaction for a game like that, I know Cowdy come out with it was a really good game of football. Obviously, we'll get into all that stuff. But just frustrating to be honest with you. I'll start with you. Did it look any? Obviously, I seen earlier you tweeted out saying fair play to that admin how they squeezed 10 minutes into the highlights. What did you make of? I haven't actually watched them back. I will, to be fair. I usually do.
I didn't watch them. Trust me, I did not watch them.
Because I am. Just because obviously I went and it's a little bit different to watching it, but from your thoughts, what did you make of the game? There was obviously a couple of changes. Obviously, Taylor missed out, came back in. We went to a back three, like us three predicted in quite a few other gas heads as well. I think the only weird one was Mola playing at wing back, centre back playing at wing back. I thought was strange. I think if you're going to play Sousa, you play him wing back. But obviously, Sousa was on the bench. Apart from that, I can't even remember the changes. It's just game's just gone that mad. But pretty much the similar team which ended the Saturday game against Rotherham. But obviously the other one was Luke Thomas. I was very, very shocked. On the other hand, I wasn't because for that, the last couple of tackles he did that have cost us in the end. But still, for him to not even be in the squad, I thought was pretty interesting. What did you make of that game? What did you make of the lineup, personnel in various positions?
Lineup wise, it was more shape, to be honest. That he went with a 3 that we assumed he would do, and for me, it was purely just to get some as much aerial dominance and threat as you can in both boxes. To be honest, more than anything. Other than that, the Thomas one not being included, you don't know the reasons why or what for it, but we've seen it previously with personnel that he's done it with. I'm not against it, to be honest, at all. Like, people have got to be accountable for what they do, I wasn't too fussed by it either way, to be honest. The game itself, you could see pretty early on what sort of game it was going to be. At the end of the day, much like it was the other day, 2 poor sides playing each other, both sides desperate not to get beat, ultimately. And it was within sort of 15, 20 minutes, you could tell that it was going to be a 10-minute game. It was basically get to like sort of like the 75, 80-minute marks, and then both teams, I've seen it before, both teams like that, they look at each other and they see who's going to stick or twist first, and then it starts to open up a little bit with who decides to have a go first, and then it opens up a little bit. But even when it did get to that point, it was just two sides just trying to drop it in behind each other. There was no. It's two sides that neither of us have got a gun in our side. Neither of us have got a gun in our side. Like, go back to, I know it's League Two, but if you go back to sort of Rovers when we had, I don't know, let's take a game like Barrow at home, nothing going on, and then Evo pops up with something, or sort of Colchester at home and Elliot Anderson just gets it on the outside when nothing's going on, and wallop, we're 1-0 up. We ain't got that in our squad, in our personnel anymore. We do not have a gun in our side, so it's difficult to open sides up when nothing's really going on. It sides are pretty comfortable against us because we haven't got that spark. There's no one in our armory. I know that Sotirio works hard and he grits away and he tries his best, but he's not at that level. He's not someone that you can hang your out on and go, he'll change that game for us. He'll light it up. I thought sort of when I was looking at it, we tend to go in the way the game was being played, and it was going out wide for both teams, coming in the box, dropping here, and I just thought to myself, and I'm not saying it was the wrong decision. I think it was the right decision for all parties for Macca to go out, but I just thought that's ideal for him right now. If you could have brought Macca on at that point where the ball was dropping, it was perfect for him. It was just the sort of game where he'd go and nick something for you. But again, there's just our personnel. We haven't got anyone, and I'm not saying Macca's a gun by any stretch. Like the other lads that I've mentioned, there are far superior to him, but we haven't got anyone in our armory that can just flick a switch and put a team's lights out with a bit of magic. So it just petered out to be 0-0 with two poor sides. Like I said, neither of them have got a gun in their side to go and do anything to make anything happen. It just petered out as two bad sides and taking a point.
Yeah, and obviously they were missing their gun, if you will. Obviously nine league goals for them this season. Obviously Marquis. Yeah, I think maybe if they would have had him in their side, it would have been a tougher game. But yeah,
if you was to look at Connor Taylor's interview, like, and he openly said, like, we've given it everything tonight. We've tried our hardest, we've given it everything, and that tells you everything you need to know. That side has given it everything, and we've gone 0-0 with Shrewsbury.
Yeah,
there's your answer to everything.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because I said that after the game. I think, there was definitely effort there, but just no quality. No, like you said, there's not obviously Sotirio's been on good form. But like you said, we haven't got that Evo that can just hit it from long distance. Like you said, Macca, for his sort of contribution, he scored some big goals, and that sums it up perfectly, pretty much what you said. What did you make of the Calderon comment that it was a good game of football?
I don't read too much into it. Like I said, like most managers, what they say to the press and what they say in the changing room and on the training ground are two completely different things. Probably said he couldn't come out and go, "Core shit."
No.
You know what I mean? So he's got to throw something out there. He's got an obligation to have an interview. He's got to say something when the game there's not much to say, to be honest. But it's a throwaway comment, and he's put it out there. But I wouldn't read too much into it because everyone's got eyes. Everyone can see what that game was. As far as it being good, I don't think anyone at all enjoyed watching it, to be honest. Like, even if you're the most defensively pro observer of a football match, even watching that wasn't great. I mean, there was loads of missed opportunities. Neither side were defensively watertight. So it wasn't much to watch at all. But I mean, the as bad as it sounds, the best bit of quality in that whole game, especially from Rovers' point of view, is Sotirio's business decision to make the challenge he did. Like, that's probably the one bit of quality, if you want to talk about that, because he saw the picture in front of him, what was happening, and he made a business decision to make a challenge that had to be made. I know there was cover, but ultimately a shot was going to be got away. And if what happens in that event and sequence of play ends in a goal, there's not enough time to do anything about it, really. So, business decision well made, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Trust me, even from that, away. And I was like, because that's what I mean. We've had a lot of situations like that. I think that's the first time I've seen it this season, where teams sort of bearing down on goal. And obviously, like you said, there was cover, but I don't think anyone, I can't remember off the top of my head, anyone doing that this season, because, yeah, we sort of lacked that, I think, because there's been a lot of times where we've got into, obviously, trying to defend our goal. Obviously, we give the ball away. I can't remember who it was now, but I think we give it away once or twice. And then, like you said, a massive gap just opens. Because obviously, in the end, he tried going for it. He tried, obviously, Ward was, yeah, I think everyone said, whether it's online or at the game, like, was awful from him. So he obviously could have put Lindsay on and just went the same, but he put sort of Soterio, again, sort of playing like centre attacking mid, but he was probably the brightest spark, along with, from an outfield point of view, along with Managerial. Obviously, Jed earned his money. He made some really good, really important saves. Obviously, I sort of, well, a few fans probably questioned, the Northampton goal and a few other things, but fair play to him. Like, we know he's a good keeper, and like, he earned it, because some of the spaces that we were letting them get into without a single person near him, and obviously he had to make some, big ones, because otherwise this. And he was obviously, I said it after, and he was the busier keeper for all our possession and nearly moments. He was still the busier keeper, which obviously says a lot as well. Chris saying, even lads, was a point, but both poor sides, strange shoves in the second half, not taking off Swinkles. Thought we had a good game, as well as Wilson and Hunt, class few weeks. Good point. Tuesday night, says Rob Stevek as well. Not a good game to watch, but a point is a point in a clean sheet. Yeah, it's just feels so frustrating. Like, we all said, a lot of people wasn't confident. Have you seen that stat as well in that green and black kit we had before that game? We had played 8 games, losing 8 of them, conceding 19 and scoring 3. So that was our first point with that black and green checkered kit, which is mental. Even to John as well. Swinkles being subbed, he was more of an attacking threat. Yeah, he was going more forward when he had the ball than, like some of our players, which is crazy. Even into Tom as well. Hope you're well. Missed opportunity for us, but I bet Shrewsbury are saying the same. Yeah, I said after the game, I think everyone can agree. Other teams, I'd say the only good thing is, well, one, we didn't concede a set piece. One, we kept a clean sheet, our first since Cambridge away, which was 12, 13 games ago. And obviously the other one is, not losing and not losing out on any ground, because Shrewsbury needed that win more than us, although we still needed the win, of course, massively, with, some of our fixtures coming up, Huddersfield, Bolton, Lincoln, our next 3. But Shrewsbury, I think you said either on the pod or online that, it's a bigger point for us, and obviously it's bad for Shrewsbury. For me, I reckon they'll go down. For me,
Shrewsbury.
Yeah,
they've got loads to do, haven't they? They've got loads to do. But like I said the other week, what they'll do is they'll go down having a go. They won't go down with a whimper.
No.
I think, like I said at the start of the season, I think everyone at the start of the season had them finishing bottom, regardless.
Yeah.
But under Ainsworth, they won't go down with a whimper. They'll have a right go and give it everything they've got. My concern is with us in the last 12 games. I'm not so sure that if we do go down, we go down having a go. My concern is that, we give away the poor goals that we do that are avoidable with a bit more physicality, determination, grit. I just think my concern is that if we do go down, it could be with a whimper, and Shrewsbury will go down probably like near enough rock bottom, if not rock bottom. But you look at what they did Tuesday, like they're not blessed with hardly any quality at all, but they give it everything.
100%. Even if Harry, as always, appreciate the support. Will stay up. Again, obviously, Rotherham, I was so low, but I still think we'll stay up. It's just, like you mentioned, Neil. Will we go down? If we do go down, will we go down? Yeah, with that fighting spirit. But yeah, we've all said, obviously, last episode we said we'd all stay up. It's just at that time in it, because we have regressed a lot. Apart from those 3 home games, what was it? Barnsley, Stockport, and Peterborough. Obviously 2 wins and a draw. We've actually got 2 wins in our last 9 games, which I didn't realise, but that's obviously not very good at this stage of the season. 2 wins, I think, 2 wins in our last 9 games. Obviously, both of them come at home because obviously we don't win away. 2 draws last night and against Stockport, and then 5 defeats, I think it is. So yeah, 2 wins in our last 9 is not good at all, and fingers crossed we can start improving it ASAP. Tom saying Mola and Hutch terrible, Hall man of the match. First half dreadful, second half much improved. Yeah, first half was poor. The amount of times just simple balls really, giving it away. We got into some good positions as well. Only a few times, but there was just no movement and it was just too slow. It seemed to happen in the second half, that we got into some good areas, but instead of someone like taking a shot, we just try and pass it in the net. Like you said, I think even Wilson says a lot when Wilson got in a good position, but you can't really blame him for not having a shot as a centre back. Even into Gordo as well. Hutch looked knackered. Even into Ronnie as well. Even in Lads' big game Saturday, 100%. Groovesy as well. What did you think of Soturio? I seem to be the only one who thought he was. To be fair, a lot of people I've seen said that he played. I thought he played well. I thought he was probably our best player, considering in recent weeks or recent times when he's played at like the number 10 or Wickham away when he's played in centre mid. Obviously, it's not his position whatsoever. He's probably annoyed that he's playing there, but at the same time, the amount of times that he won the ball back, got us on the front foot. I think he played really well, to be honest, Soturio. He's definitely been our, along with Hunt, Wilson, he's probably been one of our best players in the last sort of month or so. Gordo saying a good point Saturday. No, a point Saturday will be a good result. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, even it's a Jake. Yeah, Jake could be Jake Tongue. Obviously, Ben Gill, if you're watching, obviously, yeah, they love it. The speed camera, they say. If you guys watch Nappers' show with Jake, yeah, it's hilarious. So, yeah, Jake could be on air in next week. Obviously, yeah, Lincoln away next Saturday. Jake could be on air. So I'm just hoping we can beat them, because I cannot be dealing with Jake. It's like we used to have a good record against Lincoln, but last couple of years, obviously we drew over mid-season, but last couple of years, obviously got battered there last season. I'm glad I didn't go to that, I'll tell you that. But yeah, should be a good game, and hopefully we can finally win. Even to matter as well, we don't score enough, don't control possession and concede easy goals, recipe for disaster. Yeah, 100%. Even to Shane as well, my worry is that we look slightly better under Cowdy, but again, he shows he has no tactical awareness. Bringing on more for Hunt was madness. Promise and Ruel played well. At least they tried. Yeah, that's fair enough. Dare I tell you on the horizon anymore? Yeah. No thanks, Jake. But again, our away form, who knows? Neil's hit the nail on the head. We have no one that can create something out of nothing. Moments in games, I thought when Promise came on, he gave it a bit more presence. Yeah, 100%. I think it was obviously an interest. Like first half, it was really weird. It was a 3-4-3. Mola on left wing back, but it was more, especially in the first half. Martin was playing as like a left 10, like left winger. It was a bit weird. Like Soturio was mainly the one through the middle, and obviously then second half when we made the changes, Promising. It was basically Promise and Martin up front, Soturio, and like he basically played 4-1-4-1 with Butcher being the anchor, Hutch and Ruel in the 10. And yeah, I was going to ask you, and don't get me wrong, I know Hutchinson's been frustrating, but do you think me personally, I think people are going over the top with Hutchinson, especially because we've had like many players even in recent seasons that have been poor, and like he's not getting the same treatment, is he, as other players? Like so many, and don't get me wrong, like some of his touch is probably the worst thing about his game. Like his touch has been terrible, but he's getting way too much stick, isn't he? Well, for me, I think he is anyway. Looking at like it's always about Hutch.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, too much or not, I don't know really. You read and see far more than I do. You pay far more attention to it, and you've got multiple like outlets that you look at. Like I just pop on Twitter here and there, so I don't see a lot of it, to be honest. But he just looks like a tense fella at the minute. Hutchinson looks like, if you look at his touch, it's heavy. Looks his decision making on the ball, everything looks a bit rushed, and he just looks like a tense fella playing football. And I don't know if stuff's on his shoulders or what, or if he's trying too hard. I don't know. And but you can't. Obviously, we've got a season to see out. You've got a season to see out, and work needs to get done, and players need to do what they need to do to get us over the line. But there's nothing to say that come the summer, pre-season, work gets put into these lads. You see what you've seen this season from him. Like you could see a completely different player next season. So there's nothing to say that what you've seen of him so far defines who he is as a player. Like there could be vast improvements on the horizon. Look at the trauma that kid suffered. Like he's come here, new city, had to adjust under a manager that gave no one a shout because he played awful stuff. So dead rubber. Some personal stuff's gone on here and there as well. You've got a new man come in, new system, all in a new club, new person. Like, he's had to deal with a lot of these players.
Talking about the Evans replacement as well.
And this isn't giving him a pass, and this isn't giving any of them a pass. I'm just stating stuff that goes on. You have to take loads of stuff into consideration. Like some players turn that place and they hit the ground running, they adapt really quickly, and they crack on. And do you know what? That normally happens in good sides.
Yeah.
Like he's not in that either. So like he's at like these lads that have come in brand new and have had to relocate and all the rest of it. They've all suffered a little bit of trauma because nothing's been plain sailing this season for anyone. Like we've had the off-field stuff. Hunt's been treated the way he's treated. You know what I mean? There's all sorts that's gone on. It's been a bit of a soap opera. So there's a lot to think about other than just him on the pitch or anyone just on the pitch. There's loads of stuff that these lads have got to contend with and deal with. And like I said, this isn't giving them a pass. It's just recognising that stuff's gone on. Like normally, if you look at the sides that are operating at the upper place of the league, settled, well catered for. They know everything. They know what they've got to do. They've got all the facilities and resources for them. Like we haven't had that this season. This football club's been a circus. This football club's been a circus from top to bottom all season. So there are other elements that go into it than just 90 minutes on the pitch. But has Hutchinson been fantastic? No. Has he lit our side up? No. Will he be the first one to tell you that? Yeah. But there's probably contributing factors to it.
Yeah. Well, I think the one thing that, well, you mentioned it, obviously under Taylor, like no one at all was really playing well. But I can't, for like you said, for one, he was playing out of position anyway. It's only since Calderon's come in that he's actually been playing in his actual position, and he's improved. Like, you know,
well, his numbers aren't terrible in a bad side. Like in a bad 100%. Side, his numbers aren't terrible. But like I said, there are elements to there are certain things over recent weeks where there's been, like I said, vital moments where he could have sorted his feet out a bit better, or there's certain moments where he could have executed it a bit better. But do you know what? That's true of probably a few of them.
Yeah.
Like I said, when push comes to shove, we're not a great side. We are not a great side this season, and there's loads of contributing factors towards why that is. So if he was not pulling his weight, not trying, tossing it off, completely different conversation. But I don't see that from him. I see that lad he has a go. He goes to work, tries his hardest to get us a result and do his bit. It's just not executing it great at the minute. But that's true of plenty of them all season, which is why we're 20th.
Yeah, but even in general, I'm pretty sure before we signed him this season, he's not played hardly any amount of games in League One either. I think he was on loan at Southend or there permanently? Didn't really play a lot. So yeah, it's hard in that anyway, because you look at especially like last 3, 4 to 5 years, like how the gap from, and obviously I know Stockport are doing well, but obviously money helps Wrexham as well. They've been backed a lot, but I think the difference between League Two and League One is so high. But also the crucial point that you made as well is obviously how bad it's been around the club this season. You know, at Walsall last year, obviously I don't think they didn't have an amazing season, but they weren't the shambles that was going on throughout this, obviously, you know, the amount of stuff this season. So yeah, I just think for me personally, I've just seen like, and I'm not, the thing is, this isn't even me like digging out players, but for me personally, I just think he's been getting way too much stick. So yeah, that's sort of my opinion. And even when there's been a few comments, I like from me personally, like obviously doing reactions and stuff like that, like I will only base it on the performance, and that is it. Like I think the players are good. I've get along with quite well with quite a lot of them. Like when I've seen them, etc. But yeah, there's just been like a few comments in like recent weeks where, yeah, even maybe I do. I take it way too, like when we play poor, if we lose, I take it probably way too far and put way too much emotion in watching Rovers. But yeah, that's just a thing for me. Like I like some things when I say like I don't really mean it's just judging on a game, and maybe I'm too harsh. Maybe I expect too much. Maybe I put too much expectation. But I just wanted to get that in there because yeah, a few people have said to me like, yeah. So I just thought I'd get that. Evening to Dave Brimble. Thanks for tuning in. Andy says please say hi to Will, who's staying up late. Yeah, evening Will. Thanks for tuning up late. Staying up late to watch it. I appreciate it. Matt saying, is Chris Martin a passenger until we get in the box? And if so, in our position, can we afford this? Well, yeah, he's definitely, and like Cowdy said it, we talked about it, didn't we? I think it was on the last episode or the one before, that he stays outside the box too much. Like he is a box striker. You get some strikers, like to run channels, like to come back. But yeah, I think I wouldn't say he's a passenger, but he definitely should be. And yeah, we talked about it, he should definitely be in the box a lot more. Like I said, it was weird. Like I thought I was seeing things the other day, like him playing like left 10. I know he's a good link-up player, so I get that. But also, yeah, a player of his quality, if he's in the box having chances, more than likely he's going to put them away because he's quite a clinical finisher. He doesn't really need many chances to score a goal. Dave saying Huddersfield gas. I've booked Sunday off work to hide. Yeah. Well, to be fair, I'm more not confident. What's the other? Not confident. I have more hope to get a result against Huddersfield than I do Bolton. I'll just say that before we get into anything. But yeah, is there anything else that we need to cover on Shrewsbury? I mean, to be fair, I'm surprised we spent this long on it, to be fair. I don't think there's much more to cover. Have you got any thoughts on anything to add? And I was going to say, what you... obviously, at the moment, I've seen, obviously, you mentioned this on Twitter, but what's been your thoughts on Cowdy? Because obviously, like I said, I think as a whole team, obviously it doesn't help losing, but we've sort of regressed. Like I mentioned, 2 wins in 9, no win in 4. You obviously, I think someone asked you, or you brought the comment up. Obviously, you didn't want him out, but you were saying yeah, just say what you said on that, because
I
you just
didn't
put
say
the thing
anything
out there.
really. I just threw it out there as a point of view. Really, ultimately, we wanted Taylor gone. Everyone wanted Taylor gone. Taylor wanted himself to be gone. To be honest,
Yeah.
if there's if he we'd be where Shrewsbury are probably now if he'd have remained. So that's that. Calderon came in, didn't mind the appointment, went in a different route. We tried everything else, fine. There's been green shoots of improvement. Obviously, our chance creation's gone up. There's been certain elements of our open play which has been far improved from what it was under Taylor. Got a couple of good results, but ultimately where we sit now is 20th. Now, all I've said is, where do we sit with the bloke as far as accountability? Because I know he's a novice manager, but the remit would have been League One football next season, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if he doesn't reach that, if he doesn't get that target, and we do drop, like what I was trying to say is, if you look at previous seasons, whenever we've gone down, you look at Clark, he had a handful of games, got pelters. Joey took us down, got pelters. Is there any heat on Calderon at the minute? Because everyone seems to be bagging players. Everyone's got a lot to say about the board, but everyone's accountable. Everyone, including the bloke, because he's been here since Boxing Day. Yeah. So all I'm saying is, like, he never seems to come up as a talking point or any heat on the bloke at all. But ultimately, I granted he's walked into a poorly run football club, but ultimately he's also a novice manager, been given an opportunity. He knew the deal as far as the players he was walking into, what he believed he could get out of them. He's taken the job. He's agreed to take the job, so he's agreed to be able to meet the remit. At the minute, he's doing it by the skin of his teeth, because we are 3 points above the drop, 12 to play, goal difference not brilliant. So where do we sit on Calderon as far as a performance review? That's what we're saying, really. Where do we sit on him as a performance review?
Yeah, because that is fair enough. Like, because like you said, he's been here a while. Like you said, since boxing. Well, no,
Boxing
got
Day.
Announced on Boxing Day. Yeah, and then obviously, was it 2 or 3 days later? Yeah, obviously the Stevenage game. But yeah, it is true, to be fair, because there's been a lot of, maybe even for me, like I've said, I mentioned I probably have too much expectation, maybe for like some players or whatever. But like you said, there is, because I've seen a few on Twitter, but probably only 2% of maybe the online fan base. I don't think many people have said it in like our episodes or whatever either. So yeah, I mean it's true. Like you
if you take your Rovers fan hat off for the time being and just go, right, what you've said is, I like these players. I think they're good players. I like them. I like Calderon. I think he'll be a good coach. Why are we 20th then? Do you know what I mean? There's something's got to give. Something has to give. There has to be accountability somewhere to say, this isn't going right. We're 20th. So there has to be accountability. And I'll tell you where the accountability is. It's everywhere. Everyone's accountable. But no one should be just being dismissed as going, oh, he's new. He's never done it before. Like, ultimately, he said he's going to do the job. He'll take the job. He's agreed the job. He says he's going to do the job and meet the remit. At the minute, he's meeting it by the skin of his teeth. Now, we might finish the season. Who knows? We might finish the season 15th or whatever, and we might go, well, that was a rocky period, but he turned it around. Well done. He's done great. But as we sit here right now, the performance review is probably a bit like,
Yeah. It's especially because obviously we had what was it? We had the Wigan game where we lost 2-0, Charlton game 2-0, then the 3 home games where we won 2 and drew 1. And then, like you said, now we've like I said, we have, regressed, whether it's results wise and position wise.
Performance as well. If you look at them, and
performances, of
this
course.
is not. I'm not saying that's because it's been the instruction to do so, but
no.
Said, they're playing with fear at the minute. These lads, that's fear football that you're seeing at the minute, because everything's, like I said, rushed, tense, hurried, and if you look at sort of the last couple of games, it's been nothing like what Calderon had implemented earlier when heat wasn't so much on, and we're a bit further up the table with a little bit of a buffer behind us. But now there's fear football creeping in, and you're going to get nowhere doing that. You've got, like I said, he has to get these lads to die on the hill that he wants to implement. If we're going to go down, we're going to go down doing it his way, not just get it at your feet and spin it around the corner to get it away from goal, because that's not going to solve anything in the long run.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because we've obviously seen that he can. Yeah, there's been games. Was it Barnsley? He obviously changed it. When it wasn't working, to change it straight away. Rotherham, he done it. And yes, we were so much better. But obviously, we lost in the end. Like you said, change of formation last night. I thought the Wickham ones I thought was weird at the time, but yeah, it is like a good thing to sort of point out there. Obviously, we're not like, if there's anyone saying we obviously give him time, but like you said, there is the question out there. Is obviously if we do go down, then how much sort of stuff? Because like you said, we come in when we were I don't even know where we were when he took over, but we were definitely higher.
Mm-hmm. But right now, like he's like I say, he's a novice first team boss, and he's cutting his teeth in a relegation fight. Like if he'd have taken us over last couple of seasons, he'd have had a load of room to play with because the season's dead. He can try stuff. He can experiment with things here and there. Look a bit further into the future to try and bring people through and give them minutes. Now you're looking at points over performance. Like there's no wiggle room for him. Got to get points, mate. Have to get points.
Yeah. To be fair, he did say that today. I think in his interview, I heard a bit on when I was on the radio. Him saying that I don't really care about performances. We just need points, which I agree with.
That's great. Like, I can listen to that. I'd rather even come out and say that because that is exactly what needs to be said. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to go and get them points, get them lads playing the way you want them to play. Because at the minute, if you look at a long periods of what we've seen recently, it's fear football, and they're not really playing to any real structure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Tom's saying Promise and Martin up front from now on. Also, Shaw, Reindorf, and Brown deserve some more minutes. George saying if we can't score against Shrewsbury, we certainly won't score against Huddersfield, Wrexham, Bolton. To be fair, football's a funny game. football's a funny game, but yeah, obviously it does. It gets you so, because Rovers have done that countless times over the years. We've had a poor run or a poor loss, and we've gone and beaten a good side. So we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, it does. Of course, it's worrying when you go to Shrewsbury and not score against bottom of the league. But yeah, we'll get into Huddersfield now. Keep getting your thoughts. We're obviously getting to lineups and predictions. Obviously, Josh has already sent over his prediction and lineup, which we'll get into. So we'll get into that in maybe 10, 15 minutes. It's definitely going to be a obviously shorter one. Obviously, just the two of us couldn't get a Huddersfield fan on either. They were doing theirs at the same time, which is annoying. So it would have been obviously better to get some more, opposition perspective from their point of view. But yeah, they're currently 6th in the league. Played 35, won 17, drew 7, lost 11. Currently on 58 points. They're in that last playoff place. But it's been a bit of a mad one. Obviously, overall, really good season. Won half of their games. Probably some of their fans have thought we should be higher than this, but that's fair enough because considering they come down from the league above. But the last 5, they lost to Wrexham on Tuesday night at home 1-0. Beat Stevenage 2-1 away. Lost 2-1 to Wigan away. Lost 1-0 against Peterborough at home. And then they beat Shrewsbury away 1-0, where Shrewsbury dominated the game. And because of Huddersfield's quality, they ended up finding a goal to win that late on. So they've, at the moment, 1 win in 4 with 3 losses. Before that, they were 3 unbeaten. Before that, they had 3 losses in a row. And then before that, they went 7 unbeaten from the 14th of December to the 25th of January. So they've been very, very they were pretty, because they started the season well, didn't they? They started the season like a house on fire. I think they were top of the league for quite a while. Then it started to creak in. But yeah, recently in the sort of last month, 2 months or so, they've been, losing to teams which they shouldn't be. They obviously had the 3 losses in a row before they went on that good run as well against Bolton at home, where I think Collins got the winner. Lost to Northampton away 3-2. Like I said, when we done the Northampton preview, they've done the double over Huddersfield. So they've definitely got, well, it's like any team. They've got obviously weaknesses. They've got some good players. They usually play a 3-4-1-2, but they have switched it quite a bit. You know, Michael Duff, very good manager. But yeah, also obviously a player that probably people have looked out for. Anthony Evans has come back in the last 5 or 6 games. I don't know whether it was injury. I don't know if it was not getting picked or whatever. But even he's not played a lot of games. He's got the most assists in the squad with 5. Top goal scorer Callum Marshall. I'm pretty sure he scored in the 3-1 away batter in there. Obviously, going back to that game, yeah, we under Taylor went there with a 3 at the back, but it ended up being a back 5 sat deep, and they were just peppering and peppering. What were we? 3-0 down. Was it 3-0 down at halftime or 2-0? Then they scored late.
2 maybe, but we were never in it from kickoff.
No. Yeah, they absolutely battered us. But yeah, one good news is that their second top goal scorer, Josh Koroma, come off with an injury against Wrexham. But saying that, they obviously went mad in January, didn't they? They would get Joe Taylor brought him in for a lot of money. He's got 1 goal since January for them. Him and Dion Charles. Imagine having Dion Charles and Joe Taylor on the bench. It's crazy. But Dion Charles hasn't scored yet. He probably will now. I've just said that. Hasn't scored yet for them. He's been very poor for them. Also, another ex-Rovers player didn't play very well for us. I remember Crawley away. I think we lost 3-0 and he had a shocker. Lee Nichols. But then, though, he was a young kid. I think he's 31, 32 now. Tom Lees is out injured as well, I think. So they the last game they played, they had Joe Ruffles, Long Vike, and Spencer in the back 3. Rooston, who they signed in January from the Eredivisie as a left wing back. Ollie Turton as a wing back. Joe Hodge and Anthony Evans as the centre mid pairing. And then Chirewe on loan from Wolves as a 10. And then Koroma and Callum Marshall up front. So yeah, Callum Marshall is definitely one to watch. But yeah, what do you make of Huddersfield? Obviously, very good side, great players, good squad depth, good manager. On a bit of a dodgy run, I think. If you're going to play, whatever stage of the season, it's obviously going to be a tough game. But if coming off the back of 3 losses in the last 4 games, it's definitely the right time to say that. Although I don't want to get clipped up after they smash us. So yeah, what have you made of Huddersfield?
Underperforming for me. Really underperforming for me. I looked at them in the summer under Duff, and I thought they'd have a right go at top 2. To be honest, I really fancied them.
Yeah,
but yeah, they've underperformed for me, and then they've decided that they're gonna go all in with the chips in January and go and get 2 out and out League One goal scorers. It's still not clicked for them, I think. No. But they've also got Reece Healy out injured as well.
Yeah,
he's hell of a centre forward as well. He'd have bagged goals if he'd have played in a side which was functioning and creating chances, etc. But for whatever reason, it just ain't happened for him. Huddersfield at the minute, and underperforming for me.
Yeah, 100%. Yes, it's a strange one, isn't it? When you see the quality, like you said, they've got, when you can have Joe Taylor who he scored a hat trick, didn't he, last season when we played them away? When he was at Lincoln on loan.
Again, you look at that Lincoln side at the time, the most informed side probably in the country. Yeah, but everything was clicking, everything was smooth. It probably just it's a little bit clunky at the minute for Huddersfield. It's just not going for him, and they've been indifferent at best and underperformed. But yeah, that Lincoln side were purring, weren't they, at the time?
Yeah. And another ex-Lincoln, Sorensen, another one who, it was both Evans and Sorensen, one of their many signings in the summer that they got. They were obviously Evans, I think he had a year left, didn't he? And so did Sorensen. Obviously, from a lot of fans' point of view, we were like, oh, only like 400, 450, and Lincoln fans said the same. But he hasn't, like both of them, I've seen countless times this season from fans' point of view saying, wow, these two have been poor, but we know that they've got quality, them two, and obviously you look at the squad. It'd be interesting if Jerome is fit, or if he isn't fit, who starts with them, because Callum Marshall, their top goal scorer of 8 goals. It's an interesting one because you've got Callum Marshall on 8, Jerome on 7. I think it's Ben Wiles on 7 as well, I think, and then it goes down to 4. And it's the centre back. So
they have Dapo. They still got a Dapo as well.
Yeah, Ladapo don't even get any. That's what I mean.
I've never thought he would. I never thought like he was a top centre forward, but he's a name that's been about and like operated at big football clubs.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's literally not getting any time at all. So I mean, they just got him like rotting on the bench. Like it's crazy. Like I've never thought he's had a few like really good seasons, but whenever we've been linked with him a couple of times. Whenever we've played him, he's not really done
the
much.
Ipswich season, wasn't it, that he performed really well, but he was getting chance after chance after chance. You'd have to be a terrible centre forward to not score goals in that side.
Yeah, it is crazy. Dave saying my father-in-law town season ticket holder says if we can keep it 0-0 up until half time, we will beat them. They've got 13 players out injured. Evans is carrying a toe injury, playing with injections. Yeah, that's what I mean. It had to be something. So yeah. We've already mentioned Tom Lees is their best centre back, brilliant centre half. I think he was the one that's got 4 goals. Yeah, they're pretty decent on set pieces. I think they've scored from 17, so that's obviously one that they'll love. They don't play with tall. Their strikers are pretty small, but yeah, from set pieces when you've got Evo, obviously Herbie Kane. I don't know if he's fit or not. He's obviously a good player, even though I can't stand the bloke. And then you got obviously Ben Wiles, who's a gun. You got on about a gun. He's a gun midfielder. He's quality, that Ben Wiles. So yeah, still got a lot of quality, even with a lot of injuries. Like Dave mentioned, then 13 players out injured, and still having the players that they have in the squad and on the bench is pretty mad. Yeah, right. Let's get into our lineup predictions. I'll go with Josh's first. Obviously, he'll post it on Twitter anyway, either later on or tomorrow. But he's gone with the same 3 centre backs: Wilson, Swinkles, Taylor, Jedward in goal, Jack Hunt right wing back, Lilo Souza left wing back, Grant Ward, Butcher in midfield, Hutchinson in the 10, and Soteria in the 10, and Chris Martin and Promise Omacheri up front. So he's benched Hutchinson and brought in Souza left wing back. What would be your starting 11? And of course, let us know in the comments as well.
I'd go Ward in goal, same back 3, Butcher and Ward screening that, Jack Hunt right hand side, Soteria left hand side, Hutchinson in the hole, and
Soteria as a wing back.
Well, I wouldn't. This is what I'm saying. I wouldn't play him directly as a wing back, because the minute you start setting up like that, you're immediately on the back foot. At the Mem, like this is what I'm saying. Like in recent weeks, at the Mem, we need to front load this side. We have to front load that side to get after a side that is naturally going to look to play round us, and we've got to go and lock on to their first third. So I play Hunt right hand side to get us up the pitch, Soteria to remain high up the pitch, Hutchinson through the middle because he is a goal threat. I know he's not been brilliant of recent.
Oh yeah, he's our joint top goal scorer.
Ultimately, he is a goal threat, and if you look at the chance creation, etc., he's part of most of it. With Martin and Omacheri at the top, like I said, 3 monster centre halves and them 2 lads up top. We have to be better at set pieces in both boxes. So I need, for me, you need as many lumps out there as you can to try and be as effective as you can from set pieces in both boxes. I mean, you look at, I think Connor Taylor got a bit of, I know he kept a clean sheet, but he got a bit of stick the other night. Not so much stick, but people were questioning the other night, like about.
It was more the fact that he was taking ages sort of on the ball. that's what people were going.
But the only thing I look at Connor Taylor, and the only thing I think for me that he could really do with improvement, and this is a summer thing, this is never an in-season thing, is I look at him and you look at his. I talk about the other week when I spoke about other sides and their body compositions. You put 3 or 4 kg of lean muscle on Connor Taylor, he'd be built like Aidan Flint. He'd be like, what do you mean? He'd be an absolute weapon in both boxes. I just think he's a bit too wiry at the minute. I just think for the age he is, what is he, 23, something like that?
Yeah, 22, 20.
If you can go and get if you can go and get 3, 4, 5 lean kg on him in the summer and make him a bit bigger and thicker, I just think he's always going to have that stride pattern, and his recovery runs are always going to be good. I just think he'd be far more dangerous and far more effective in League One if he just put a bit more on himself and thickened himself up a touch.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I think he'd be an absolute tank. Chris saying don't think promised to start, missed training today. Type 5 strain. Well, Chris Collier in the know. There we go. It's not to be fair though. I don't think. Yeah, you sort of got to go careful, aren't you, with him? I'm not surprised that he even if whatever's gone on, if he has got a type 5 strain, I don't think he would have probably trained today anyway. He would have probably trained maybe once this week, and that's it. Just because he's coming back, you could see he's still got that burst and a handful. So I think. Yeah, it's an interesting one. So hopefully he's at least in the squad. But yeah, we'll have to see. But yeah,
he'll definitely form part of the squad. He has to. Like we're not in a position at the minute where we can't look to roll the dice with lads that even aren't fully fit.
100%.
He has to be part of it if you can get him out on the field.
Yeah, 100%. Matt's has gone with Jed Hunt, Wilson, Swinkles, Mola, Ward, Butcher, Lindsay, Thomas Martin, Hutchinson, Satiriu, super sub, and Lindsay to help the midfield. Yeah, well, for me, Satiriu has to start. He's been almost, especially, as an attacker, he's been very good recently. That's a pretty good team, to be fair. Mine wouldn't be too far from that. I would probably go. Yeah, obviously Jed in goal, Taylor, Wilson, Swinkles, Hunt on the right, Souza I would go with, just because I think he should be a really good wing back. Don't have to defend as much, and he's pretty good and skillful going forward. I get that, what you've done with Satiriu to make it obviously way more front-footed and stuff like that. But I'd probably go with Souza. I'd give Grant Ward one more game because I thought he was poor against Rotherham. The worst player the other night. I think everyone would agree. I'd give him one more, and then I know Lindsay struggled a lot, but one more game I'd give Grant Ward. So Grant and Butcher, Hutch in the 10, and then I would go Chris Martin and Satiriu up front, just because I still don't think Promise is. I think at the moment he's better off the bench just while he brings his fitness more up. So I'd go Satiriu Martin up top. Score predictions. We're going to get into them right now. Keep hitting the like button. Thanks to everyone that's still tuning in. Leave all your predictions in the comments below. Of course, make sure you leave them after if you don't get them in. And of course, if you're watching back, make sure you drop your predictions, leave a like, and hope you enjoy the episode as well. Even to Thatchers and Sam, all good, mate. No worries for being late. Yeah, feel free to. I'll leave timestamps again after as well. So if anyone joins late or midway through, you can skip to certain topics that we talk about. Leave your prediction in the comments right now. There's loads of you watching, so let us know what you think. Are you confident? Are we going to get back to winning ways after 4 without a win? Let us know. I'll go with Josh's first. you can have a little prediction. What do you think he's gone for?
Probably, I don't know. Does he think we'll get a result 2-1?
He's gone 2-2.
Oh, was he? Okay.
2-2. Yeah, he's gone 2-2. He hasn't sent goal scorers, but yeah, you can see that when he does it. He should be doing his TikTok on Saturday. So and he'll probably put it on socials tomorrow or on Saturday. Yeah, he's gone 2-2. Rovers to get a point, back-to-back points. Harry Jenkins has gone 1-1. Mats has gone 2-2. Chris Collier has gone 2-1. Neil, confident that we can get a win, or do you think with the quality they've got, they just have too much?
Look, I'm not confident we can get a win. Like, I'm not most weeks. Like I said, we're 20th. You've got to understand, like, we're 20th. So, like, if we were good at winning games, we wouldn't be there. But I do think, I know, like, our last time out was far from brilliant, but I do think that we can operate far better than them. Yeah, I'll go with the same as H. 1-1.
1-1. Goal scorers for both teams?
I'd say Sotirio for us and some like ruffles for them.
Yeah, probably from a set piece.
Yeah, probably.
Probably from a set piece. So yeah, you're agreeing with Jenkins on that one. Yeah, Dave saying we need to give Shaw a run out. Yeah, he's been on the bench but hasn't come on the last 2 games. Obviously, he's still young, still raw, so it's fair enough. But yeah, not confident, says Tom, but I think we might sneak a draw like we did against Wrexham, 1-1. Chris Collier, yeah, Chris Collier's gone 2-1 gas. Yeah, you've changed that because on Insta you said we'd lose. Yeah, fair enough though. Changing it, going gutsy, love it. Raul, and Raul. God, I wish it was Raul up front. Raul and Martin. God, that'd be lethal. It depends if we score the first. Yeah, that's the thing with us. I cannot see us getting anything if we go 1-0 down. But like you said, we're just predicting. We don't know into the future. But yeah, it's true though. If we go 1-0 up, but saying that, we've gone 1-0 up the last 2 games before Shrewsbury and lost. So yeah, who knows? If we score first 2-0, if not, then I think 3-0 Huddersfield. So I'll go 2-0. Love it. Dion Charles to get his first Huddersfield goal. I'm gonna say, God. I'm going to say 3-2 Rovers. Just because of Huddersfield's injuries and some players not playing in their correct position, and because of their, saying their poor form, we've not got a win in 4 games, and yeah, we've gone 3 losses and a draw. They've obviously got 1 win and 3 losses, but yeah, I just think it'd be high scoring just because we're at the. If it was away, it'd be 4-0. Like we were predicting in the other game earlier on, it'd be 4-0, 3-0. But at home, just because it's at home, I think, yeah, I'll say we'll win 3-2. I'll go Evans because it's written in the stars for him to score at the Mem. And yeah, because I said it earlier, Dion Charles will probably score for them and get his first goal for Huddersfield. Charlie, you drank too much Monster. To be fair, I'm on the Diet Coke tonight, so no Monster tonight. Yeah, I know, 3 goals. To be fair though, before Rotherham, but even the Rotherham game, like we were poor and we lost, and we still scored 2 goals. So yeah, why not add the third? For us, Sotirio, Hutch, Promise. There we go. I'll go 3-2. Why not? Again, you could say blind faith, you could say stupidity, but I'll back them. I'll back them to get back to winning ways. But yeah, we're pretty much gonna end it here. Yeah, thanks to Neil as always. Appreciated. Always coming on. Like I said, we'll be back on Sunday. We should be all available. We'll let you know on socials when the time comes to it. So yeah, Josh should be back Sunday for the Bolton preview and to react to the Huddersfield game. Hit a like if you haven't already. 50 likes would be class. Subscribe, follow the socials. Fan Hub code is below. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Hope you enjoy it when you watch it back. For those that are watching it back, yeah, I'll have a reaction out Saturday. Fingers crossed for a win. But for now, thanks to everyone tuning in. Thanks to Neil. Shout out to Josh as well. Go and follow his TikTok. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Up the gas.